I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me canceled, hopefully. Let me know if I say something that's out of line. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, it is my dream to be an entertainer. So if you are at all entertained by this video, please like it and consider subscribing for more content. So my channel has been all over the place, and if you are a new subscriber or you are considering subscribing, you may be wondering what exactly this channel is. So I thought I would go ahead and make a heart of the channel kind of video so that you would know where my mindset is, where the saying "stay crazy" came from, and just kind of get on a base level understanding of what is to come. Because yes, I actually have a whole series that I'm really excited about that will be coming out soon. So I have been on YouTube since 2008, and on and off of a different channel doing cosplay with a group of friends. We called it Echo Cosplay. That channel is still up. It's just not really posting much anymore. And I have always just loved entertaining people. And I think I've said that enough, so I'm not going to go into the depths of that. But basically, YouTube for me is a really great creative outlet of just exploring your hobby and bringing others into it. And if I can make you smile or make you laugh, even if it's at me, that's perfectly fine. So one of my main hobbies is just crafting. I love to create something from nothing, like to see a lump of fabric turn into a whole creature, as you can see behind me. I've got a few of them. It's magic. It really is. It's everyday mundane magic, I guess you could say. And so I really like sharing that with people, and that genuinely is where it started. I like to perform, and cosplay to me is a street performance. You're basically improvising as the character. Not everyone does that. Some people only do it for the costume side of things. I now tend to do it for the performance side of things. So I do like making the costumes, but I would never compete. I'm not trying to sell any work. I know I'm not the best seamstress, but it's just you kind of connect with the character while you're making the costume. So that's why I like doing that. I also like just small crafts, trying new things. Doing nail hacks and, anything from, ranging from, a coloring book to, I don't know, something really elaborate. Embroidery? I don't know. I embroidered a whole skirt for Rapunzel by hand just to say that I could, after I already spent 16 hours painting the embroidery look on a previous skirt I did for her. And all that to say, I ended up buying a professionally made costume for her so that I could perform in. But I've actually done her outfit at home for my own sake twice now. So, when you really love a character, it just helps that bonding experience, So that's where things started as. And so I was like, oh, I'll make a craft channel, right? Because as I've said before, I have been a content creator through MC&E Studios. It was a children's YouTube channel, and I would do unboxing, toy unboxings and doll videos, but we also started getting into craft videos. I did a little bit of them, and then I also prepared them for my boss, who then did them herself. And so I've seen that kind of side, and I really loved it, and I really enjoyed it. But to be honest, it's expensive. It depends. You could do it smartly, but most of our videos cost between $30 to $60 per episode just to buy the materials. And so it just wasn't really cost effective for me as a hobby to do this when I've already taken a major cut to start my career as a full-time voiceover artist, now voice actress. And so that's why the channel kind of took a weird turn where the guilt was getting to me that, yes, I can afford these things, but I really should be saving my money, And so as I was investing more in my career, I didn't have as much expendable income to put into a hobby. So then I started changing a little bit. At one point I did have, and I still have, a Carrie Favel is my professional YouTube channel, and that just houses more vocal showcases. That's also where I put the video version of my demos, just so that it's easier to share it occasionally. Some people don't want, an attachment; they just want it, and so I could just send like a link. It's also on my website, but depending on who I'm talking to, it just has more space there. I can put unprofessional, like, I produced them myself on that page, and I feel that that's a suitable area where I can show, hey, I can do these voices. I just haven't done it in a professional setting yet. I also house my podcast over there, which, as you might have seen, a few episodes came over to this channel, and I realized that's not what this channel is. So what is this channel? I think the mission statement still stands. Bringing positivity, creativity, and compassion back into the world and ending the stigma that innocent fun is just for kids. I really hate when I hear that people stop doing what they loved to do because, I graduated college, now I have to enter the real world. And there is nothing wrong with liking sports or going shopping or drinking with friends. And if that's what you like to do, go ahead. I am not knocking that at all. But what gets me is that these people I used to hang out with or that I just knew through, seeing them at conventions, their only reason for stopping sewing or playing video games is that, now I'm 24, I'm an adult, I have to stop. That's just not good enough for me. That's not a good excuse. And it is an excuse. Saying playing video games is childish is ridiculous. The adults make them. This is a career that people get paid money to create these wonderful stories and all of, the game design. Do you know how many people it takes to put on a thing like this? That's why it's amazingly inspiring when there are indie game developers, because those are a team of between 1 to 5 doing something that usually takes a whole company like Konami and Capcom and all of Microsoft, EA Works, which I think is now EA something else, and there's Square Enix. Is that what it is? I don't know. There's so many. I'm really bad at naming developers, especially off the top of my head, or companies. But there are so many companies out there that, this is people's livelihood. How can you say that's just for kids when they're making mature rated content? Video games are just a different medium, right? It's a way to express a movie or a book in a way that the consumer can digest it differently. It's so engaging. And sure, is there crap content out there? Yeah, there are stupid movies, there are stupid cartoons, there are stupid books. It happens, but there are also really beautiful pieces out there, and that also applies to everything. You can crochet, or knit an entire outfit and actually wear it. Granted, an entire outfit made out of that might look a little weird, but, you can knit a shirt. That's a thing. And so knocking creativity and hobbies and imagination just because, that's what we did as a kid, that is just ridiculous to me. So I was on the platform, when Jenna Marbles was on, but I really took an inspiration from her. And now that she's gone, not that saying that I could ever fill Jenna Marbles' spot. She is definitely a league of her own. But that idea and that mentality, I want to help be a part of that community. A part of me was wondering if I needed to focus on voiceover and voice acting because that is my career. And so I make a blog and everything. And so part of my content that I put on here is about voiceover, and it gets views. So I'm wondering, maybe I should make this into that. But I don't want to lose the casualness of this. This is not a professional, this is not my Carrie Fable. If I wanted those to be associated with me, I would have put them over there. It is on my blog, but my blog is no longer on my main website. I'm kind of compartmentalizing all the pieces of me because I think that's where it's relevant and you can understand what you can enjoy. Because what I do is not for the masses. And to say that, it's a little bit weird. But when I voice a commercial or an e-learning presentation or whiteboard animation, my client is the company. And usually it's actually the middleman the client is the company who hires the middleman advertiser who then casts me in their project. So most of the time, you watching this I will never work directly with you. You might see something that I'm in, but I could never market or sell my services to you. You are the end result consumer, and I certainly hope you enjoy what I do, the audiobooks, and especially hopefully one day, please, more cartoons and video games and that kind of stuff. But you are not my client, right? And so that's the distinction that I make. So my website and the Carrie Favel YouTube channel, that is for my clients to see what I can do. This is me as an entertainer of just kind of putting stuff out there as with creative freedom, right? I want the creative freedom, not to worry that someone won't hire me because I said something. And of course, I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me canceled, hopefully. Let me know if I say something that's out of line. But the idea is that I am free to express myself in a casual way, and no one can say, no, say it like this. No, we should tweak it like this. Oh, I want to hear this. You don't sound quite, whatever. I can sound however I want. And of course, I'm never going to say something that, if it reaches my clients or whatever, is going to embarrass me. But that's just because that's not who I am. I don't think in my heart I would ever say something that I would not want someone else to hear. But, yes, fart jokes I probably wouldn't say in front of a client. But if they overheard me talking about farts, I mean, okay, fine, just scoff it off. It doesn't mean I can't work really hard. It just means my sense of humor is very varied. So I wrote a little blurb that I want to just kind of read because I do better in written form, believe it or not. I'm okay with improving and bouncing off of other content, but just coming up with my own stuff, I sometimes fumble over what I want to say. So allow me to read a little excerpt from my About page on Cypress. What's with the crazy theme? By accepting and embracing our fears, we can often tap into our own strength. I suffer from clinical depression and social anxiety, and without medication, I often felt literally insane. Similarly, I have been told I was crazy for staying true to myself and going against the grain. For those two reasons, I've decided to turn those words, the fear of being true to self, into something positive. That really sums it up better than I could ever say it, even though I did say it, I wrote that. But growing up, I also had a very expressive voice. And I would get in trouble because I would say something and people would think I felt that. I was always over emotional, over exaggerating, oversensitive. So I'd be like, what, really? And people would be like, calm down. I'm like, I am calm. That's just me always. And so people would always, they would call me crazy or too much. They'd always tell me to calm down. And again, in my heart and everything, I'm like, I am calm. I just have an expressive voice, which also led me to voiceover. But it really did do something negatively mentally to me that I just started really second guessing myself. And then when you start to think that you are crazy, you start to lose trust in yourself. And so I have taken a nice journey, and I've gotten to a place where I understand that that is not true. And of course, there's a lot of neurodivergence out there and mental illness, and the term crazy can be pretty harmful and hurtful to those people. And I'm not here to do any kind of, socio-political whatever. I just want to take that word back. I want to give it new meaning. And fine. You think I'm crazy? Fine. I'm crazy. But I'm happy this way. And so that's why I say stay crazy. It's really just stay true to yourself. Don't let someone tell you can't do something just because you need to grow up. And yes, there are exceptions. There are addictions and obsessions where it's not healthy. So yes, if someone gives you an intervention and they're like, hey, stop smoking crack, or hey, stop running into the street playing chicken with cars. Yeah, okay, those are maybe things you should stop. But within reason, as long as you are able to carry on a healthy lifestyle, it's okay if when you come home from work, you play video games or you like to dress up as life-size stuffed animals just because it's fun and you could see the smile and the joy on kids' faces. Like, that's awesome, and you shouldn't feel ashamed for that. So I made an acronym for CRAZY, and that is creative, reassured, affirmative, zealous, you. Crazy. And really, crazy is defined as being out of the ordinary or unusual, wild, uncontrolled, impractical, and erratic or eccentric. So some of those have negative connotations, but really just being unusual is unique, being uniquely you, going against the grain or just not doing what is popular just because that's the easiest way to get along. Like, I don't need to fit in with a certain set people as long as I fit in with the people who accept me. And as long as I am still doing, a good job, that's not to say, again, that I am lax in my work ethic. But my free time is time for me. My work time is time for my clients. And my tagline is embrace insanity, which insanity just means something utterly foolish or unreasonable. And again, to a degree, that can be negative, but I don't know. I just think utterly foolish sounds like so much fun. Like, I always tell people, I don't need alcohol to have a good time. And I think that that's where it comes from, where you can release your inhibitions and be silly by being you and fully in control of who you are by embracing yourself. There is a quote that I have heard that I've tried to find who said it, but it's just anonymous. At least, I don't know, the writer has been lost to time. But it is, I love you. You're probably thinking, you don't even know me. But if people can hate for no reason, I can love. And I know it's cheesy and whatever, feel good. I really do believe that, truly. I think there needs to be more love and support in the world. And that's what I'm trying to do. There's no reason to hate someone. Why can't you give the benefit of the doubt? And I know I've said that somewhere before, so I won't get off on that. But that's just really, that is the heart of this channel, of just supporting each other, supporting creativity, and just having compassion for your fellow man. We might have different beliefs, but that doesn't mean we can't still get along. I'm not naive enough to believe that a world peace is possible. But, you can make good steps and really make your community a better place. So before I end this, I just want to say that, yes, this channel is going through a little bit of an adolescence phase. Cosplay and crafting will always be a passion of mine. And anytime that I have something that I can share with you guys, I certainly will. And if I ever get back to a spot where I can, realistically, without guilt, try all these different projects and stuff. I definitely would love to bring crafting back to this channel. But I think part of entertaining is also story times. And so I will be telling you a little bit more about myself, about my personal life, because there are some funny things that we can laugh at together and lessons to be learned. I also do have genuine advice for voiceover artists out there or anyone in the entertainment industry. I've kind of walked the perimeter of that world, so we can, of course, have conversations. But what I really want to do, so I love the, true crime podcasts and channels, and I don't think I could ever really do that myself because I do fall into rabbit holes and research things, but that does put you in a dark place, and I have been there before. So I'd rather just listen to other people who have the constitution to do that without putting that out there, because as much as it fascinates me, the human psyche and just also learning about the victims and hopefully sometimes survivors, because I do fully believe that no one dies until they are forgotten. And so by bringing them back to the forefront and talking about them, their life kind of, is still among us, their memory is still among us, I should say. but I don't think that I am the creator for that job. So I would love to do research on voice actors. I think that would be really great. And doing voiceover, some of my blog started that way. So I'm going to bring that to this channel where even if you're not interested in voiceover as a career, I think these stories will be really engaging because you're just learning about someone else who, turned their passion into a career. And then some history lessons, some story lessons in, around the entertainment industry. So that is the project that I am going to be working on. I'm going to be interlacing some of my personal story times. I'm actually going to create little mini seasons of these themes so that it kind of is a little bit more, it makes more sense and it organized, especially when if you go to the playlist, things are grouped nicely, and then it'll give me a chance to research and write things while I do more off the cuff, like this video. So I'm really excited for that. I hope I can get that off the ground. It's a big endeavor. I stopped my podcast because I didn't have time to do it. So we will see if I have time to do this endeavor. But every time I always say, I've bitten off more than I can chew, I take another bite. That is just me. So remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and whatever you are struggling with today will pass. Until next time, stay crazy.